Hey guys, it's Keegan. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video, I am so freaking excited for this one. Oh my gosh. So I had this idea one day. I was just laying in my bed, super comfy, chilling, and then I was just thinking, oh my god, my subscribers probably have so many good stories. I don't know why. I just kind of was just like I don't know why. Today's video, I'm going to be reading some of your guys' craziest, worst roommate stories. I asked you guys on my Instagram to DM me your crazy roommate stories. This is going to be completely anonymous, so I'm not going to start a feud with you and your roommate, so it's completely anonymous, like no one's gonna know. I asked you guys to send me your like college like frat party hookup stories, so that will be in another video. I haven't filmed that yet. If you guys have like a crazy college party story, DM it to me on my Instagram. I'll probably read it. I just thought this would be a really fun video. I'm going to read some of your guys' stories. I'm so excited for this. These are so funny. I picked the best of the best. Okay, that was gonna be so smooth, but it wasn't. We're going to go on into the first story. OMG, okay, this is a great one. So I was in a triple my freshman year, and one of my roommates, let's call her Susan. Hey, Susan. Susan confessed to my other roommate, Mandy, and I on move-in night that she was a witch. A real witch who practiced magic. We talked all summer, and she hadn't mentioned it until the first night where she did a ritual in our room and lit candles and chanted. What was that like? Just like, what was she chanting? Oh my gosh. Like, why am I tearing up already on this? Mandy and I were completely terrified that we would get cursed. Honestly, me too. I went to a private university before transferring this year to ASU. We found it interesting that a witch decided to go to a college at a private Catholic university, but to each their own. After a few weeks, she got another dorm room to practice magic in while staying in an art room. How did she find another dorm room just to practice magic? Like, did she pay for both? Did someone offer their dorm that's like, hey, practice your magic, like chant your, oh my gosh. After a few months, we got along till we didn't, and she moved out and switched with the girl across the hall. I definitely think I won the worst roommate story. I had no problem with her religion. My problem was when she threatens to curse me with light candles and doing spells in our shared room. Okay, I want to know, what is she threatening to curse you like with? Oh my gosh, I would be terrified if someone's like, I'm gonna curse you, because I don't know if I believe in that, but I think in the moment I would be like shaking. Next one. Oh, do I have a story for you? That's how you know it's gonna be good. My roommate would kick me out of my room to have sex with random guys. I would sleep in the lobby. She also had sex in our bathroom because I was in the room, and had sex in her bed next to mine while I was asleep. She would always steal my food and use my stuff without asking. I've seen so many of these stories where people like had sex in the room, got kicked out of the room because their roommate's having sex. This one, the fact that she had to sleep in the lobby, I had to include that. Was it uncomfortable? I feel like I'm asking these questions and like they're not gonna respond to it because they are anonymous and they don't want to expose themselves. But like, if I had to sleep in the lobby, girl, I am not a confrontational person, so I wouldn't really do anything about it, but I would be mad on the inside and not say anything about it out loud. Total side note, if you guys are like going to be living with someone for the first time, I hope that like these stories will show you how to be a courteous roommate and things not to do. I actually made like a roommate advice video last year, and then I got way too scared to upload it because I was like, what if my like past roommate's gonna like think I'm like adding her the whole time, which I wasn't trying to. But then I was like, oh my god, I didn't want to hurt her feelings if she thought I was, so then I never uploaded it. Let me know if you guys want me to either refilm it or upload it, because it has some good advice, and some of this advice could have helped some of these problems in here. Next one. Okay, so I moved into a different dorm with the semester change for various reasons, but the new roommates were super nice. I lived in apartment style living, so 4 bedrooms with a common living room and 2 shared baths. But this one girl turned out to be crazy, and the reason the old roommate moved out. Ooh, tea already. We shared a bathroom, and she wasn't a very cleanly person. This girl once found a bat on campus and put it in a jar and kept it in her room. Oh my god. Not like a baseball bat, right? Because like, you can't put that in a jar, like a flying, like, that is so mean to the bat. First off, like that poor, is it dead? Second off, I don't know if you guys watched that documentary on Netflix where they like talk about corona, but like bats carry a lot of diseases. Like the CDC has to like test a bunch of bats because they could like infect us and cause pandemics and stuff like that. That's what the Netflix show said, unless I like interpreted it wrong. Sketchy. If I had like a disease filled bat in my dorm room in a jar, pets aren't allowed in the dorms, so I don't think like a bat in a jar is an exception. Okay, let's keep reading. She would constantly bring over new guys and would talk about her sex life and weird timings. She also couldn't handle her alcohol and would constantly puke in our bathroom, which is fine, but wouldn't clean it up until the next day, which meant the bathroom wasn't clean. She also had sex in one of the couches in our living room, and that was shared furniture, so it was super gross. I could go on and on about her, but she just overall lacked respect for the people she lived with. Not trying to bash her, but she did make living together super annoying. Okay, I actually have a friend who her roommate had sex like on their shared couch, and she like left left her underwear in the couch. The things that I'm reading are like super common. A lot of the issues I think people have with roommates is like sex and like over drinking and like puking. If you're gonna have a roommate, maybe have the sex talk. Not like how our baby's made, but like the, are we gonna have sex in our room? Are you gonna kick me out? Am I gonna have to sleep in the lobby? Are you gonna have a bat in a jar in our room? I hope not. It was Wednesday night and I was up late studying, and my roommate had her boyfriend come over and he was extremely drunk. We went to bed at like 5:30 a.m. I was woken at 6 a.m. by my roommate saying this guy had peed in her bed. We tried to wake him up, but he passed out, so we laid in his pee until he woke up, and we slept in our friend's room. It was a crazy night. Are they still together after he peed? Once I had a roommate yell at me for making mac and cheese with a fork. Like, that's literally all it says. I just kind of thought that was like really funny when I read it. This one, multiple things. Number one, my roommate had her police officer dad run background checks on me and my other roommate and told us the first day we met her, and she would describe our houses to us and other personal information is about us. Is that legal? Can police officers just do background checks on anyone they want just for like the fun of it? Like, do they need like a reason to do it? I don't think that's legal. That makes me uncomfy. I will admit I'm kind of creepy about people's houses. My sorority, we have like this thing where like it gives you everyone's like phone number, addresses, information, and sometimes when I'm bored I will go on Zillow and search people's houses to see how rich they are, you know. I will do that, but I'm not gonna go up to them and be like, I saw that white marble countertop in your kitchen is so beautiful, I love the island, the gold handles on your cabinets are beautiful, and I love the peach color that you did with your bedroom. I wouldn't. I would not. I do Zillow people's houses quite frequently because I get bored. I don't talk to them about it, but I do think that the background check thing should be illegal. Is it? Does anyone know? Same girl in the middle of the night, I'd wake up and she'd be standing in the middle of my room staring at me. Can you imagine? You wake up in the middle of the night and someone's just creepy. Still the same girl. This girl has issues. Oh my gosh. My other roommate was complaining to me about her, and she was pretty loud, and I realized it was weird that my roommate hadn't come back yet since she was just in the hallway. So I look out the peephole to see if she's in the hallway, and she has her head pressed against the door and listening to everything we're saying. Okay, I want to know, can you please DM me and tell me what happened after that? Like, was there like a lot of like tea? Was there a fight that happened? Because can you imagine someone's talking mad crap about you, your ears pressed to the door, and they know? And did she say something about it? Did she act like it never happened? Did you open the door and then she kind of like fell forward? Going on to the next one. The most ridiculous thing that happened to me was this. There was a fire extinguisher cabinet across from our door, and two of my roommates would always leave their keys there. Super dangerous, keep in mind, extremely dangerous, especially when you're a girl that lives in a communal living area. I don't know if I'd feel comfortable doing that personally, and I'd feel even more uncomfortable if my roommates were doing that and I was home, the door was locked but their keys were there, and like that just kind of scares the crap out of me. I don't like that they did that. The whole hall knew about it, so we were worried someone would break into our dorm with their key. Yeah, like that's yeah, me too. So my other roommate and I got our neighbors to take their keys one day and just keep them. I wonder how that turned out. My roommates were freaked out because they had no keys, so we woke up a few mornings to them sleeping in the hallway because they got home at 3 a.m. and didn't have any keys. Okay, you should have told them that the roommates had the keys. I don't know. Sleeping in the hall. Did they not knock on the door? We finally got our neighbor to return their keys right before we had to move out. They had their keys for that long? Because my roommates were saying they were going to get campus police involved because they thought they had a stalker. That just took a turn that I was not expecting. I feel like they could have just been like, hey, can you keep your key? They could do the Zoe 101 thing where like the necklace, kind of cute, right? You know, a roommate story. So it's a normal night in the dorms, and I woke up at 2 a.m. to my roommate laying on the floor in lingerie having a photo shoot for her long distance boyfriend. I was like, Jazz, what are you doing? And her response was, modeling my new cute stuff, Katie. What does it look like? Kind of funny, actually. Can you just imagine you wake up in the morning, and you know like girls do the thing where they like, you know, they like push their boobs together, like, can you imagine you wake up and someone's just like, oh my gosh, that is so funny. Did the photos turn out good? Ooh, where do I even start? I lived in a triple, and my roommates were both boy crazy. One night I went to sleep a little early because I had an exam the next morning. I was on the top bunk. Oh, I just know where this is going. And one night my roommate who slept underneath me came in with this boy and had full-on sex right under me. It woke me up because the bed was rocking and it was loud. She put loud in all caps. I actually love the way this girl types. Let's just say I did not sleep that much. And I bombed the test bad because I was exhausted. God, I love roommates. I am sorry you failed your test. Can you imagine emailing your professor and being like, hi, I'm so sorry I failed your test. My roommate was having sex and I couldn't sleep because my bed was shaking. I've heard a lot of stories of girls having sex with their roommates in the room. That's one thing, but it's also another thing when you're sharing a bunk bed. Like, that's a whole other story. Maybe that makes me a little uncomfy. During my first semester of college, I had a roommate that pulled a knife out on me and my other roommates while we were filming a video for class. I'm intrigued. Before we could do anything, she left and reported us, saying that we pulled a knife on her. You had a video of it. How stupid is she? We had the police called on us and everything. All we had to do was show them the video. Yeah, because you're filming a video. Like, what? I go to a super small college where everyone knows everyone, and she turned the entire college against us. It was wild. Luckily, she dropped out after a month. I feel like those ones always drop out really fast. Dude, the crazy ones. This is more gross than funny, but I had a roommate who kept dead bugs in the freezer. Ugh. This might not make the cut for the best roomie stories, but girl, it made the cut. Freshman year, I went random, and my roommate and I literally had nothing in common. She was very active on her Tinder and would often have boys in the room. She'd usually text me if she didn't think I was in class. One day, my class got out early, so I naturally decided to go back to my room early. We had electronic keys that made a little beep sound when they first went in, and then a second when the door was unlocked. I think mine did that too when I lived in my sorority house. She screamed no when I opened the door, and I saw that she was in bed with a classmate of mine named Ryan. That's in quotes. Oh my gosh, they're always named Ryan. Well, I went to sit in our kitchen for 40 minutes before I had to go to my next class that Ryan was in. The plot thickens. I go to class a few minutes early because I didn't think I could go back to my room, and shortly after I sit down, Ryan comes in wearing all black sweats, sits down next to me and says, "I didn't know you and Catherine were roommates." Is he trying to have small talk about the sex that he just had that you just walked in on? Brian, men be bold. Another story, Catherine had a big Tinder addiction and went home one weekend because she had mono. Ooh, I heard mono sucks. So one day when she was homesick with mono, I opened the drawer where I knew she kept her tea and coffee pots and found an open box of pregnancy tests because naturally those go together. This girl is so funny, the one typing this. I want to be your friend. She ended up not being pregnant, but I was like, dang, I'll have such a good freshman year story if she goes home with mono and ends up being pregnant. I was in my room recording an audio for an online presentation with noise canceling headphones. I recorded about an hour of my clips to only play them back and hear moans coming for my sweet mate who was hooking up with some guy, so I have to casually text her, ask her to quiet down so that my whole communications class doesn't hear her moans. Biggest cock block ever. Can you imagine if you didn't like play it back and then you had to like play that audio and you just hear like, I don't even want to moan on my channel. I just don't even want to do it, but like, can you imagine? Last year when I was a freshman, I had the craziest roommate ever. She would steal my stuff and openly wear my clothes in front of me. One time she took a t-shirt of mine, cut it apart, and made a bag without even asking me, and then told me she didn't think I'd mind. I think you'd mind. I would mind. One time I walked into the room and saw a cup out of our mini fridge and asked if she could put away the apple juice, and she flat out told me, "That's not apple juice. I peed in that cup because I didn't want to walk to the bathroom." We live next door to a bathroom, and she didn't take the pee cup out for hours. I'm sorry, what? Can you imagine if you drank that by accident? I'm gonna like gag thinking about this. Oh my god, do I have stories. I love to hear it. First, I'll tell you about my roommate freshman year. Let's call her Lauren. Lauren was in a long-term relationship at the time, and they were a long-distance relationship. Because he had been at college for a year already, she was about to start her first year. Lauren and her BF fought all the time. Or on FaceTime. I feel like I like spaced the words out really weirdly. I'm sorry. They also left the FaceTime on at night even when they slept. It was so weird because I lived there. He could hear me if I moved or went to the restroom or anything because they stayed on the phone all night and slept. I would feel extremely uncomfortable if I had a roommate whose boyfriend heard me like snore or sleep in the middle of the night. A little weird. One day I come to the dorm after a long day of class and I walked into them fighting and her crying, and either she asked me to leave or I left out of decency because I was used to it by now. I went to my friend's dorm and 20 minutes later I get a call from Lauren's BF. He tells me, "Can you go check on Lauren? She's on the floor not responding." So I run into the room concerned. I walk in and she's on the floor face down. I feel like this is like a murder mystery. This would be on Crime Junkie. And she didn't respond to my calling her name or tapping her shoulder, so I get really nervous and I try to flip her face up, but it's also hard because I'm small and not strong. I feel that. Anyways, I call public safety and an EMT and police officer come in and start asking me what happened. I had to ask the boyfriend what she had done, and he tells me that she had been hitting her head with textbooks all day and they were fighting. And during her calls, she started banging her head on the desk. And then she got up and fell on the floor and stopped responding. You know, when I normally would get in fights with my boyfriends, I would cry, not bang my head on desks, but to each their own. I explained to the EMTs and I think eventually they got her to wake up and be able to talk, but they decided they needed to take her to the emergency room. And well, I had to go with her because no one else would, and I felt bad. You're a good roommate. I hope they broke up. If a guy is forcing you to, not forcing you, but causing you to bang your head on a table to the point where you go unconscious, sis, I don't think he's the one for you. Lauren, if you're watching this, I hope you're okay, and I hope you didn't suffer brain damage from that. My freshman year roommate and I hated each other starting mid-October. From then on we barely spoke. Flash forward to May, I come home to our room completely dark. I flip on the lights and see her in a curled ball, topless, covered in vomit. Ooh. She's thrown up all over the rug on my side of the room, and then she stumbles into the bathroom when I get there. I ended up sleeping on the floor in my friend Luke's room because I can't stand the stench of her throw. When I asked her to clean it up, she agrees. I come home. Oh my god, wait for this, you guys. I come home to see that she cut out the carpet where the throw up was. I have pictures too. So this girl sent me pictures of the throw up and then like of the cutout carpet, and I just didn't want to show that because I was it kind of made me gag a little bit too. I didn't want her roommate to see that and be like, that was my carpet, because I don't want to start drama for you guys. But it was a huge carpet and there's just like a little like uneven cut, this giant carpet. Like, it wasn't like one of the little ones, it was a giant carpet, and there's just like this uneven cut just like halfway through it. It was actually really funny. The first photo of the throw up, kind of gross. The second photo of the carpet, kind of funny. I'm really sorry that she cut up your rug. I'm actually going to end this video here. I literally have so many more. Can you see that? I have so many more stories. So if you guys want me to do a part 2 and maybe even a part 3 to this, I can definitely do that. I think that would be super fun. I can definitely do other parts if you guys want me to, but I hope that you guys liked it. Follow me on Instagram if you guys want. If you want to participate in the next one of these videos, that will be there. I love you guys so much. Subscribe if you're not already. I have a ton of back to school videos coming up that I'm super excited about. I love you, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.